barely a week after the National Assembly approved his dismissal, the former resident electoral commissioner in Adamawa State, Barrister Hudu Ari, has stirred the political pot once again. Ari, who was suspended for declaring Senator Aisha Binani of the APC as the winner of the 2023 governorship election while coalition was still ongoing, has doubled down on his initial position. In a recent chat with journalists at his residence in Bauchi, Ari insisted that Binani defeated the incumbent governor Ahmadu Fintiri of the PDP. He even swore by the Holy Quran, stating that he possesses documentary evidence to back his claim. This revelation raises serious questions about the integrity of the electoral process in Adamawa State. Was Ari acting alone? Or does his claim point to deeper issues within the Independent National Electoral Commission? And to help us analyze this dimension, we have in the studio, of course, Emmanuel Osemeka, the country director at Social Welfare Network Initiative, and also a public affairs commentator. We also have in the studio Jamilu Mohammed. He is an engineer and also an economic and public affairs commentator. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, we have two tidbits, but I will just put them as questions. Number one is the visit of Atiku, you know, and others, Tambuwal and all that to Obasanjo in Ota. Emmanuel, let me start with you. Don't you think, or do you think they have started the 2027 prematurely, or it's time to start?
2027 campaigns or preparations began from the day INEC declared President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the winner of the 2023 presidential election. So, and you have barely 6 months before, I think it's less than 6 months before the campaigns for primaries begin. So it's not early. I believe that any serious politician who is worth his onions, this is time to begin consultation. In fact, ought to have begun consultation like 3 years ago.
But are they fair to the electorate? We're talking about millions of people who went to the polls, elected leaders. They are anticipating dividends of democracy. But the politicians, they have started cooking another meal entirely. Are they fair to the electorate? That is what many people are asking.
They are fair. I mean, you don't prepare to become president in 6 months. You prepare to become president, you know, it's like a 20 years plan or 10 years plan. So if they begin from the day they lost the last election, either by the declaration of INEC or by the last court judgment, they haven't really started early. The reason is because you need to do proper consultation. You need to be able to take a look at what happened and why you lost the last election that you participated in, especially with the names you've mentioned, Atiku Abubakar, the likes of Tambuwal, the likes of
Lielu Umoke and Senator Abdul Ningi.
So is what we've seen in the last 4 or 5 months is alignment and realignment of what I would call strange bedfellows. These are people who in the past, you know, rubbished each other, betrayed each other, but somehow is in politics, they say there's no permanent friend, is permanent interest. Today, they have one singular interest, and all their interests somehow seem to align with one another. And that's why they are okay. Consulting.
Jamilu, I will add the second question. Maybe you say a word or two on this, then you answer the other one. The question which ought to be our second tidbit is El-Rufai denying the fact that he did not support Tinubu, because some people have flooded the internet saying that his tantrum of sorts, I'm sorry to use that word, this is what some people cited, tantrum like a baby, that he's just attacking the Tinubu administration simply because he wasn't given the ministerial position. But he now came out and said that he supported Tinubu. Could that justify his anger?
Well, I think politicians have reason to be angry when they don't get what they want, most especially if you have to be in government and you are not in government. They seem to forget the past. When Najatu Muhammad came up with issues about the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, so many things happened, and I think so many people said, advocates of the Nuhu Ribadu being in government, started attacking her, saying they will take her to court on the issue. And then El Rufai came out and defended her, saying that Nuhu Ribadu seems to have forgotten what he said in the past. Yes, so I don't want to say El Rufai is suffering from the same thing he accused Nuhu Ribadu of. I think, yes, El Rufai supported Tinubu.
He even called out many Northerners.
Of course.
To justify.
But I think between these politicians, after supporting Tinubu, at a point, Tinubu came out and said he will not run a government without El Rufai. He said that publicly. And he held himself hostage on the stage, saying that if El Rufai will not accept that offer, he will not come down from that.
Then what went wrong?
I think that's what I'm saying. I say politicians, they have a way of settling their issues.
Just the way Emmanuel
said, you know, you don't have a permanent friend, you only have permanent interest. When your interests align with a politician, you go together. If it does not, me and you would be friends today, tomorrow we will be enemies. So I think that is what is happening. Actually, they don't have to take Nigerians for a ride. I think, you see, the issue is that of saying politics and governance. I don't know why politics should stop governance.
True. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
You mean they should go hand in hand?
Of course.
But why is it leaders, when they win, they were, okay, no victor, no vanquish, come, let's coalesce into a force and then deliver dividends.
Deliver governance. I agree with that. Yes, they say it.
And they don't.
And they don't practice it. I think that's the problem.
It's just mere rhetoric.
Okay. Now, in all this, I'm still taking this question to you. Are Nigerians really getting value for what they did in 2023?
So that's a very, should I say, confusing question, in the sense that many Nigerians didn't feel that they got what they wanted in 2023. Why? If you take a look at the results, you know, as released by INEC, you had the winner, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, pulling I think 8 points or thereabout million votes. His closest rival, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, pulled 6.8 or 6.9 million votes.
Along that range.
Then Peter Obi pulled 6.1 or 6.2 million votes. Then, of course, you have Alhaji Kwankwaso pulling about 1 million or thereabout vote. Now, if you combine Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's vote and that of Peter Obi's vote, that's over 12 million votes. So if the populace of Nigeria decided to go majorly with PDP and Labour Party and of course NMPP, it shows clearly that the winner got probably about 30-something% of the vote cast, which is not up to 50% of the vote cast. So you have what you call, he didn't get the popular vote per se. So when you ask that question, that's why I said it's a bit problematic, you know, to say the least. But you see, when you look at the happenings across the country, the question you should ask really is, are Nigerians getting the dividends of democracy since 2023 when this new crop of leaders emerged? The answer is no. It's been one political turmoil or the other. A case in point, I mean, you had a guest who was here a while ago and looking at the Rivers crisis. And the reality is that you have 26 members of a State House of Assembly who openly, in public, in front of the cameras, came out and said they no longer belong to the party that brought them to office.
PDP.
And that they are moving to another party. And they brandished the flag, which is the symbol of the new party they were going into. And I listened to a senior advocate of Nigeria say that is not enough. Whereas, on a daily basis at the National Assembly, members of the parliament simply get up and say to the chair that they are moving from the party to another party. And it is fait accompli. I do not understand the type of judgment a lot of lawyers impute to clear
with due respect to them. And that's why I asked. He said he was talking from legal perspective, and the books are there. Jamilu, maybe you will say something here briefly.
Well, I think the problem is whether Nigerians have fully participated in the democratic process of governance. You see, the whole votes, let me talk about the presidential election. The whole votes boiled down to about 24 point something million. The whole votes.
And you have...
And total registered votes was about 90 something million.
96.
So it means only about 20 something % participated.
Which we'll actually have time to discuss, because there is this bill in the House of Reps making to make Nigeria voting compulsory. I don't want us to go into that.
Even then, you still have to go back to INEC, blame INEC. You see, INEC registered about 90 something million, and the registrable Nigerians, the Nigerians that were supposed to be registered, was about 150, getting to about 140 million.
Then what is there in numbers?
So
anyway,
you see now,
this should be a subject of discussion.
If it is like that, then you would say Nigerians are not getting value for this democracy because Nigerians too are not even participating.
All right. Now, yes, Emmanuel, we saw a former rake brandishing the Holy Quran and swearing by it that it was Binani. This is the discussion of this segment. Is it because he has already been sacked? He now went out, just last week, President Tinubu submitted his name alongside 2 others for permission to sack them. What is your take on this?
It's a shame.
On who?
It's a shame on Nigeria that the National Assembly, the Federal Assembly, screened a man like Mr. Ari. I think that's his name, Hudu Ari, right?
Yes.
It's not enough that, one, you know your responsibility and your powers as rec. You are not the returning officer for that election. So you have no powers to declare winner or loser, or even discuss the election. Now, you did all of that. Why I say it's a shame is that he's still walking the streets and talking against federal institutions, courts that made declarative pronouncements, injunctions on the same matter. It's a shame that Nigeria allows such a thing to continue to happen.
Okay, Jamilu, I want your take on this. It is a house set, on fire. You are passing by. You can see tap that you can fetch water and maybe quench the fire. Ahead of arrival of fire service, you try to do that, and now they say you are a criminal for quenching the fire. I'm sorry to ask this question because some people believe that Ari actually went all out to do that in order to safeguard democracy, because he saw the real returning officer not willing to declare Binani.
Well, I don't know if the analogy you have given is the correct analogy.
I'm just...
yes, I understand. That's why I'm saying. Yes. I don't know if it is...
And I'm not defending anybody.
No, I'm not talking about even defense. I don't know if the analogy fits. You see, as Mr. Emma has said, you have your own duty. You have your own assignments. You have your own responsibilities, duly specified, duly defined. Stand by that.
Even when you see obviously that
if you have another channel of putting that through. You do not break the law in order to get something right. I don't think it is something like that. I do agree that it is very possible that Binani won the election. I'm not denying that Binani did not win the election. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that Hudu Ari took the wrong way of...
He overreached himself.
Issue, I think.
Okay, Emmanuel, over to you now. I want to ask you this question. Just a moment ago, you tried to tackle Barrister Kabo for using technicalities to say that beyond brandishing flags, they have to go to their ward, the register and all that. But here you are now saying that Hudu must also follow the due process. He shouldn't overreach his boundaries. So where do you really belong?
So the matter is very simple.
Okay.
I'm not confusing anybody.
Okay.
The precedent at the National Assembly, which is the major parliament we have in Nigeria, and is a bicameral legislation. So we see what happens on a regular basis with the National Assembly. The fact is that members of the National Assembly cross carpet on a daily basis. They defect from one political party to the other. And they don't come out to say, oh, I have registered and this is my registration card. Nobody has ever done it. We had a sitting speaker move from a political party to another political party.
But does that justify their action?
Oh, I'm coming, sir.
Okay.
We're talking about precedent.
Okay.
I mean, when lawyers come and try to change the rules halfway, none of them spoke when the time comes. They didn't come to say, oh, these members of the National Assembly, oh, the law says once you declare, you lose your seat. Or they say no, because the chair determines whether you have defected properly or you've not defected properly. Different rules. The actions of the Rivers State House members, 26 of them, and not 14, just like the SAN was, erroneously mentioned. 26 of them, they openly said they have left PDP and they are now in APC, and they brandished APC flags. Excuse me, sir. Even when the then Speaker Martin Amawule got into his car, the flag flying on his car was APC flag. What other proof do you need to show that you have decamped and lost your seat? I'm not the judge. I'm not the lawyer that is in the judgment. But the other part for me where I had a problem with him was that the judgment that went to the Supreme Court, which was dismissed, and which the Supreme Court said was an academic exercise, was the issue of the 2024 budget, which the state government has spent, concluded.
Which I brought to.
So I heard you bring it up, but he waived it. Why the Supreme Court?
We'll put it together with you. Now, what do you think Hudu should do? Or Hudu has no case?
He needs to surrender himself to the police because he still has a pending.
He should be prosecuted?
Yes, he has a pending case at the Adamawa State High Court. He has a pending criminal case at Adamawa State High Court, and that man needs to be arrested, sir. The reality is that, let's say, for example, Atiku Abubakar was declared second runner-up to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Suppose Atiku Abubakar decides to say, I'm the winner of the election, I pulled more votes than Tinubu pulled. What do you think Nigerians would have said? Would that make it right? Or a member of one national commissioner decides to say, okay, that you declared Tinubu winner by 4 a.m. We were not there. I'm declaring Atiku winner, or I'm declaring P2B winner, or I'm declaring Kwakwaso winner. We're a country of laws.
Okay, Jamilu, country of laws. Don't you think this man deserves fair hearing? To now say, okay, come with your evidence.
Thank you very much. I think that's where I was coming
okay.
to. If he deserves fair hearing, I think he should go to court. He has all the evidences that
not putting together journalists.
Not to inflame our political or our. Simple. I think let him go to court, or let him find a team that will go to court and say, look at this is what is happening. This was what happened, and I think I'm still challenging that result that was tendered. I think that's the right thing to do.
Now, this is somebody who, was making case for an APC candidate.
Good.
Why is the system not supporting him? Because there is this allusion that APC wanted to take
an APC government
everywhere. Yes,
sir. The law sees Hudu Ari as a meddlesome interloper. He has no locus. Let him go to court. On what grounds would he go to court? That collation was ongoing and you jumped and made a declaration? With who? Just you alone? No, now. See, the rules are clear. We are guided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic, 1999 as amended, and the Electoral Act, and of course in addition to INEC rules and guidelines. INEC rules and guidelines in conjunction with the Electoral Act says that INEC will appoint returning officers. And the returning officers declared Fintri as the winner. The case went to court, and the court determined that Fintri won the lawful vote cast. The words are lawful vote cast.
So any other thing that somebody will come with
is a nullity.
So finally, can we also say, just like Rivers, even though the barrister at law that left the stage a moment ago said we should wait for, you know, the papers to come out. Now, what is the way, meaning that the Adamawa case is also sealed and Hudu is gone?
Well, about Hudu gone, maybe, yes, but politically and legally, I don't think
there is any case about Fintin.
No, I don't think
he will exhaust his term.
No, he may, yes, he will exhaust his term, but what I'm saying is, politically, legally, the case would not have been deemed to have been foreclosed. I don't want to say that.
Okay.
I only think that possibly politically, so people will go from behind the scene and do one or two things. Legally, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if Mr. Hudu Ari has the local standing to now go to court and say, okay, I have the evidences that Binani won this election, and the court would have to do something. It's not about whether to remove Fintri and bring Binani,
okay,
but to determine that there was something wrong with that election.
Okay, you are not in your head. Just 30 seconds, please.
So what I'm saying here is this. If Hudu Ari had evidence, that case went to the tribunal. From tribunal to appeal.
From appeal.
From appeal to Supreme Court. Why didn't he furnish that evidence to Binani, since he wants Binani to be governor at all costs?
I hope we get the opportunity to have Ari to come on this platform.
And bring me when he comes, please.
All right, thank you very much, Emmanuel Osemeka, Country Director at Social Welfare Network Initiative, Public Affairs Commentator, for coming to the program.
Thank you.
We have to have you some other time. And Jamilu Mohammed, an engineer, economy and public affairs commentator, for coming to the program. We thank you.
Thank you very much.
And viewers, that's a wrap on today's package. We hope you found the conversation engaging and informative. And be sure to join Daily Politics airing every weekday and our special packages on Friday and Sunday, during which we open the telephone line for you to also comment on some of these issues. Thank you for being with us. Bye-bye. From here, I am Hamza Idris.